Well, greetings, everybody. Yeah, I wanted to thank all of you that had dropped me a line, etc., in regards to the fact that I had mentioned that I was going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks for health issues. Well, it turns out that I misunderstood my doctor. And as it turned out, I was not restricted for just 48 hours. Just don't do any heavy lifting for 48 hours, but don't take your blood thinner for 2 weeks. I got it all confused and thought I was sidelined for 2 weeks. And all it was, very minor, old man crap, just hemorrhoid stuff. You know, it goes back to the old joke where the guy goes to the faith healer and has hemorrhoids, and the faith healer smacks him in the forehead and says, "Lord, heal this asshole." Well, that's kind of where I was with my doctor. And it turned out to be very simple. Painless, nothing. I mean, it was nothing. And so thank you all for the wishes and everything else, because I do know that many of you that I hear from, have serious health issues that affect the quality of your life. And I'm very fortunate in that my stuff is just typical minor aging crap that, isn't a big deal, doesn't really interrupt life. And so I know that that's not the case with everybody else. So my best wishes for all of you out there. And Jeff, I want to make sure and mention Jeff Wisson by name, because he's not able to watch the videos right now with some eye issues. And so Jeff, best wishes that your doctor gets this all straightened out for you. And I did a t-shirt drawing. Nathan Kurtz, you have won a t-shirt. The drawing will stay active in the description. There will be a link in there you can still enter if you haven't yet, and I'll keep giving shirts away. I don't sell those, I just give them away, so hopefully there's a bit of a collector's item factor to it. So Nathan, send me your shipping details to george@jumpingoffthecliff.com, and I will get a t-shirt headed your way. Also, Brian Boner, I've got to say thanks to Brian before I forget. Brian had seen the video where I went through Pendleton, Oregon, and when I discovered that wool shirts, which are incredibly high quality from Pendleton, are they're priced accordingly. And anyway, it turned out he had inherited some wool shirts from his grandfather, and sent me a couple, in fact several shirts, and an Eddie Bauer chamois shirt as well. And I just want to say thanks, Brian. It's very much appreciated. And so I now have some Pendleton wool shirts to wear this fall when it gets colder. So for once, I'm kind of looking forward to that time of year. So I did go ahead and try and get a hop in while I had some time, and I was going to head up north, and well, things didn't work out fully the way I had planned, and so I'm going to have to redo this one. But anyway, I did shoot a little video and ran across a tag at the catch out, and apparently I have pissed somebody off, but that's just life. You can't please everybody, as the song goes, so you got to please yourself. And not sure, who knows why people get upset about things. I know somebody was upset because I was interviewed from years ago. Actually, the interview took place years ago by NPR, and apparently you can do YouTube videos but don't talk to somebody from NPR. I mean, come on. The reality of train hopping is that hobos have shared their stories in whatever media is popular at the time forever. Literally forever, from day one. And nothing has changed in that regard. Hope you enjoy the video, and I'll have a real one, as soon as I get a chance to get back out and do things right when I've got more time, which I will have shortly. So anyway, take care, everybody. Oops, I almost forgot. Hey, I finally got around to publishing that book I had been working on. It's called Stealing Scenery, and if you're interested, there is a link in the description to that book. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Well, I just missed my train to Joliet. Get on. It's a great deal. I can go from Chicago to Joliet on a senior fare for like $3. All day pass on this line would be $6. I mean, crazy cheap. So I can't complain. Ride in comfort, and I'll be there in an hour or so, whatever it takes. Anyway, I'm off and running again. So we got loaded auto racks here. I don't know what I'm going to do because it's way hotter than I thought it was going to be today. And I was going to be exposed if I ride intermodal. Looks like that's the end of the train right there. Those would make a nice ride, but you have to open the door and then make it look like it's closed. And I don't know. Not something I want to mess with. They're sealed. Must have cars in there. Oh yeah, they do. That they do. We'll wait for something else. Just hope this thing doesn't sit here so long that it blocks me from the other side. Some kind of a local. Well, all aired up and ready to go. I found a couple of good grainer rides on there, but I'm going to hold out for a better ride. I looked for box cars and no go on an empty, so away it goes. All day for this train, and it's not stopping. Well, and it's raining to boot, so maybe that's just as well. Oh well. Life in the fast lane. Well, I don't think I'd show up on the camera. In fact, looks like hardly anything's showing up because it's dark. So, it stormed a little bit here, which is par for the course. I always manage to get rained on in Joliet for some reason. The train I wanted
Didn't stop. And as I've mentioned in the past, I think that train hopping planning is a little more like wishful thinking sometimes. Yeah, sometimes everything goes exactly how you planned. You get the train you wanted, you get the ride you wanted. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you have to take what sort of drops in your lap, and this nice high-wall grainer dropped in my lap. Problem is, I don't really know exactly where it's going. Man, it is super muggy here. You know, part of that, of course, is it just got done raining, and it's going to rain some more, but it had been humid even last night. Just, that's kind of the way the Chicago area is in summertime. If you can't take the humidity, this isn't the place to hang out at times. But yeah, it's so muggy that it feels like you should see your breath even though it's still in the 80s. It was over 90 degrees today. So it's probably better that nothing worked out for me in the sun anyway. You know, saved me having to suffer in the heat. So hopefully it's a little cooler. I think it will be probably a little rainy on the way north, assuming I make it as far north as I want to go, which is Superior. So anyway, fingers crossed. Looks like we're maybe going to get broken up here. I'm not sure what we're doing. We pulled out quite a ways and then we backed in quite a ways. So we're kind of back where we started.
So I've had lots of crazy things happen, you know. My trains, I've had them be split right at the car I was on. So I got seen one time in Spokane. You know, in a 100-car train, what are the chances that they're going to work on the car you're on? One time in Chicago, when the conductor split the train at my car and rode my car. And then what happened in this one was really crazy. So I realized that my train wasn't going anywhere. But it was a comfortable car and decently concealed on it. I was going to sit there for a while I figured out what I was doing. And I could hear a trainman walking down the tracks, and what they do is they release the air on each car so that there's no brake set, and that way they can split the train anywhere. And I could hear him coming, so there was no way I was going to get off the train fast enough to avoid him, so I just stayed down. And I'm not sure if, I don't think he saw me because that high wall grainer was pretty concealing, but he was talking to himself and said something. And then I heard him talking about my car, and he couldn't release the air on it. The valve was broken or something. And so he was going to have to get somebody to come work on the car I was on. You know, it's like, oh my God, what are the odds of that happening? So anyway, I could see the handwriting on the wall, and as soon as he got far enough away, I got off of that thing, and I decided to just go ahead and get out of the yard and think about redoing this. By then, I'd wasted more than a day just waiting on trains, and I didn't want to be pressed for time, so I thought, I'll just redo this thing. So I'm going to start from there on the next video. Anyway, hope everybody has had a great 4th of July. Take care, you guys.